Hey guys, thanks for stopping by the channel. If you're new around here, my name is Brian. I like to make videos that encourage you so that you can live life with more hope. A little while back, I was leading a trip for high school students up to this camp. We would go to camp, have a good time, and learn how to grow in our faith. In order to get up there, we would take a couple vans and we would drive from where we are, drive up to the camp, and then drive back down at the end of the weekend. And so on the way back down, we left probably around noon, maybe a little before, and we were heading out, and about, hour or so in, we're like, hey, why don't we stop and get some lunch? Everyone's hungry, you're camp tired, and so you just need a little fuel for the system to get you going. So we stopped in at a pretty reputable chain and picked up some food. And I remember this one person in our group, they had picked up some French fries and a green milkshake, and we're just chowing down, enjoying it, hanging out with her friends, and we had a good stop. So we jump in the vans and we get going. Well, I was driving that van, and all of a sudden I just hear, "Ugh! Oh no!" It was like your worst nightmare. Well, maybe not your worst nightmare, but a pretty bad one. And I was kind of looking in the rear view mirror, seeing what's happening. Everyone's supposed to be buckled in and strapped down, and they're not supposed to be jumping around. But all of a sudden, I just see a whole bunch of people just kind of scatter inside this van, and I'm just like, what in the world happened? And then you start to smell it, and you realize, oh, I know what just happened. Someone just massively puked in the middle of the van, and so we had a van that was following us and pull over to the side of the road and open the doors, and students are just piling out, and apparently this girl who had the milkshake and the French fries had puked all over the seat. And I felt so bad for her, the fact that she was just sick, just straight up sick, not feeling well. And so we get out, and there was other kids that were just like, oh my gosh, it's on me. And then it was, I don't want to say it's funny, but hindsight, it was kind of funny. There was a van behind us, and they pull over, and they start seeing the kids getting sick, and I just remember the door on the other van just flying open, and this one other student just jumps out and projectile pukes onto the side of the road. It was not, looking back on it, it was pretty funny, but in the moment, it was like, oh my goodness, what is going on right now? And so, if there's a mess, we still have a few hours drive to get back home. There's a mess in the middle of our van. We got to clean it up. Someone's got to clean it up, and everyone's looking at, you guessed it, this guy right here. And so I'm like, all right, well, we were just on a retreat. Everyone's got towels. I had extra towels, so got to clean this up. And so we grabbed some towels. I actually grabbed a shirt that I was wearing at the time, pulled that off, and there's just a big pile of puke in the middle of the van, and there's nothing else you can do but just go for it. So we just grabbed those towels, grabbed that shirt, and I just remember just scooping it up and it being warm and squishy and stuff, kind of squeezing out and like getting onto my hands. Like, this is gross. We just take that, toss that out to the side of the road, get some more towels, just kind of clean it up, get all the chunks out of there. Ugh, yuck. Even just thinking about it right now is kind of making me a little queasy. But just get everything up. It's still a little wet, so just kind of pile a bunch of clean towels on top of it so that no one has to sit on it. But someone does actually have to sit there and in that surrounding area because we need to get home. But thankfully, because of the towels, it was dry. It didn't smell as bad. And we got home. Thankfully that girl was feeling better, much better after she had thrown up. Of course, a little embarrassed. So if you relate to anyone in that story, you can understand that there's sometimes situations that we get into that we can't control, or maybe we could control, we made bad choices, and now we're in a situation we don't want to be in. And what do we do there? And so I was reading in my Bible about this situation that these people found themselves in, and it was a lot worse than cleaning up puke in a van. In fact, there was a nation that was following God, and something happened, they messed up, and this other country came and actually conquered and took over their land, which doesn't really make sense in our kind of modern mindset because we don't see that too often in our time. But this other country came and just took over everything, and then took all those people out of that land and moved them hundreds, if not thousands of miles away. And the story I was reading kind of picks up where they're in this foreign land, and the person that I was reading about has these people that are tormenting him, people that had captured him, and they're saying, why don't you sing us those songs you used to sing back at home? You know, the ones you used to sing to worship God, the ones that you used to sing when life was happy and joyful and everything was great. And the response of this guy was basically, how can I sing the songs of back home when I'm in this foreign land? How can I sing these songs of worship, these songs of joyfulness and thanksgiving when I'm in this land, I'm in this foreign land, it's not my land, and you have me captive and you're actually tormenting me? How can I sing these songs? His response to this question is, and remember, he's a musician, if I forget how good God is, if I forget all the good things he's ever done in my life, even in the midst of a situation that I can't control, that I hate, and that I am in and cannot get out of right now, if I ever forget how good God was, may I just forget how to sing, may I forget how to play my instrument, may I forget to do the things that I've been made to do that bring me joy, may I just forget and have no skill whatsoever if I ever forget how good God is. How can you have that kind of response in a hard situation? Well, it all depends on relationship, right? If you have a family member that is always there for you, maybe it's your mom, maybe it's your dad, maybe it's your brother or sister, whatever, or maybe it's a friend that's always there for you, someone that you can just message real quick and you know that they're there for you. You know you can trust that person, that you put a certain amount of faith in that person, right? And this musician that I was reading about, he basically has that relationship with God. He's saying, all right, right now the situation that I'm in, definitely not ideal. Actually, it's horrible. It's a horrible situation. But I know you were good back then. I'm going to trust that you're still good, that you're still there with me. Right? The end of the story actually happens that the people that were taken away from their land, they were actually brought back, right? And that they were taken from their homeland and brought into this exile, into this captivity, and being tormented. And eventually, years later, they were brought back into their land. And so I just want to encourage you is that, whatever situation you find yourself in now, whether you're picking up puke in a van, whether you are actually having something a little more serious, whether you're dealing with a health issue, whether you're dealing with a relational problem with, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, or maybe you're married with your spouse, that in this season right now, it might be dark, it might be difficult, it might be hard to see that God is good, but I want you to take a second and think back. Maybe God's been good in your past, and you can remember that he was there, he was present, he was with you, and he wanted to care for you, and he did. You can trust that he'll take care of you now, and he'll be with you now. He might not take you out of the situation immediately right now, but as you're walking in this situation, you can remember he was good back then. I'm going to trust him right now. I'm just going to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Keep trusting him, keep putting my hope in him, and he might not take you out of that situation right now, but he'll walk you through it. He'll grow your heart. He'll grow your love for him and for the people around you. So I hope that can be an encouragement to you, that as you take one step to trust God, that you'll begin to grow a lifetime of memories of you trusting him and him coming through and giving you what you need. Maybe not taking you out of the situation you're in right now, but giving you the strength and the wisdom and the courage to be able to walk through those situations and maybe come out the other side even better for it. I hope that makes sense to you guys. If you like this video, hit that like button. Thanks for stopping by. Hit subscribe and that bell if you want to hear more videos like this. Really enjoy spending time with you guys. Hope you have an awesome day.